Welcome to our podcast, episode 84 on Ahsoka and Resistance. Because I finally watched Resistance, but we're going to talk about Ahsoka first. Resistance is just a bonus for the episode. But Ahsoka, it was kind of meh. Like, there was good parts, definitely. The second half was definitely stronger than the first half, but it feels like nothing really happened. Like, I understand that you might want to build up to, the main thing, fighting Thrawn, but the fact is that it feels like some of the episodes are kind of unnecessary or drawn out too much. Like I understand that you might want to build on things, but yeah, and Ahsoka's lost her personality. Like she barely has any of her personality, basically none from the animated shows. So like compared to animated shows, like animated Ahsoka is way better. So yeah, she's kind of boring. Ahsoka's kind of boring. Sabine also ended up seemingly having the same sort of effect. Like, I mean, she still has a little bit of herself, but it's like barely anything. And you can, the best of like Sabine is with Ezra. Like, spoilers, by the way. Probably should have said spoilers at the beginning, but you probably should have figured there'd be spoilers, and you probably figured that Ezra would be in there anyway, so it's not really too much of a spoiler, but yeah, the best of Sabine is with Ezra, like, like, there's actually stuff going on when, they're together, but otherwise, yeah. Hu Yang's still great. I mean, he's still, you know, voiced by David Tennant, like, still serves his role pretty well. So he's about the same. Um, uh, if he's gotten any better, worse, I think, like, he stayed about the same. Like, in the Clone Wars, he served as the role to, teach the younglings, and now he's still, you know, teaching in a way. So, yeah, I think Hu Yang's still pretty good character, pretty much the same, and voiced by David Tennant. I'm just saying, like, I love David Tennant. I'm looking forward, yeah, again to the 60th anniversary, which already probably came out by the time this video is out. So this just shows how old this is and how insane my schedule is. Yeah, again, but yeah, looking forward to the 60th anniversary as David Tennant as the Doctor. Also, I like one of the thing in Hu Yang's backstory, like there's backstory out there somewhere, I don't know from where, but that apparently, Hu Yang showed up in a big blue box. I get it, I get it. That's the TARDIS. But yeah, funny Doctor Who reference. But yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. But yeah, Ahsoka, you know, Ezra's pretty good. Like I feel like Ezra like stayed true to themselves the most. Like Ezra's lost the least amount of like personality, like barely any of it. Like actually probably none of it. So Ezra is still peak. Uh, Thrawn is still very much intimidating, cool character, very calculated and like he is still very much the Grand Admiral. Uh, yeah, but yeah, uh, yeah, Thrawn's still excellent. Anakin shows up, spoilers yet again, but the flashback thing is pretty cool. Showing how grim the Clone Wars actually is. Like, damn, it was grim. Or I don't see why they needed to use the Bell Mandalore again. Like, couldn't you use something else from a different Bell? Like, yeah, Bell Mandalore's cool, but like, why do we have to see again? Like, don't keep using things over and over again. You know, like Order 66. It's starting to wear a little bit thin. How much Order 66 keeps appearing. Luckily, it hasn't appeared so far in Ahsoka, but if it does, that be wearing Order 66 even more thin. Like it'll lose impact if you keep using it. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. And Balin's score is pretty cool. Probably one of the coolest Star Wars characters like yet, and he's like very mysterious. But it's a shame, I believe the actor Ray Stevenson, that's the one who played him, passed away, and it's a shame. And I don't know if how they'll continue Balin's Skull, but yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, overall, Ahsoka's, like a 5, 6 out of 10, probably, yeah, 6 out of 10. Like, it's alright. I mean, it's good, but it isn't exactly, peak Star Wars, except certain episodes in it, but otherwise, overall, it's, eh, Ahsoka's, it needs to improve a lot with the second season. I feel like a reason why it may have been like so lackluster is that, you know, Dave Filoni is, doing helping with multiple Star Wars projects. I mean, he's been helping with Mando, he's probably been, helping with Bad Batch, and he's been helping with the Ahsoka. So, yeah, he's very, like, stretched out at the moment. I feel like it's affected, the ideas, like, and the writing. Like, I feel like if it wasn't such a time crunch and if Disney wasn't, being like a monster machine and be like, produce me content, loyal servants, like if Disney wasn't, you know, being like how it is, I feel like, you know, that it be a higher quality than it is right now. So I feel like it's being downgraded because of, you know, Disney outstretching, them rather than them not being able to do it, because I feel like they could do good things. Like Dave Filoni is definitely alluding to something with, the Mortis trio, the Mortis gods, the father, the son, and the daughter. But yeah, yeah, but we won't see any of that till, season two. So, yeah, I feel like they just need to slow down for a second, calm the pants of trying to do a million things at once, because it's only going to inevitably lead to burnout. I mean, look at, Doctor Who during its revival. It had, like, Doctor Who the series, there was Torchwood, there was Sarah Jane Adventures, like Russell T Davis was doing, three things at once. And it's kind of the same case right now with Star Wars, like Dave Filoni's, doing multiple things, and probably Favreau's, also trying to, help lighten the load, but, you know, the two of them are like going to be able to, you know, do so much to lighten the load, and like it's a lot at once. So, you know, they're going to inevitably burn out. So, yeah. But yeah. But hopefully the quality improves in time, and hopefully they slow down a bit, and yeah, and with, the writers and like actors strikes, yeah, things definitely have slowed down. So because everything, stopped production because of those strikes. So um yeah, hopefully this gives a chance to slow down, think for a second, and come back to it, you know, with fresh ideas, and not rush into it, and just take it slow and not do a million things at once, because that's only going to inevitably lead to, like, more problems than solutions. And yeah, inevitably you're going to cause con- like contradictions and all that. And yeah, but yeah, hopefully everything goes well in the future for, Ahsoka, and any other things like Bad Batch. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Bad Batch. And yeah, and hopefully some of the other more experimental things Star Wars shows prove to be interesting, but we'll just have to wait and see. And some of them may have, dropped trailers by the time this video's out. And yeah, even start, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Resistance as the bonus feature of this episode. So I finally watched Resistance. It's alright. I mean, it's not exactly peak Star Wars, but it's technically the best thing as a part of the sequel trilogy, and the that's not exactly a high bar to beat. Seeing, one of the films is Last Jedi, kind of bad. It's kind of 50-50. Some see as, really good, and some people see it as really bad, but overall it's mostly leaning towards bad, but at least it's still faithful to Star Wars, unlike The Rise of Skywalker, which broke certain things with Star Wars. And although, yeah, it's a happy ending, but it's just bad. Really bad. So there'll probably be some fans of it, but otherwise it's. So yeah, those two are garbage heaps for their own unique reasons. Um, and The Force Awakens is, a cheap, you know, nostalgia movie. I mean, there's enough new to it. I guess it's okay, but it's only like 5 out of 10 at best. Like it doesn't really set a high bar for the sequels. So Resistance, being mostly kind of kiddie, not full key like not compared to like the levels of what's the other one, the High Republic uh one with the kid Jedi from the High Republic. I don't know. But that one is definitely, targeted at young kids. You know, um, you know, Resistance is, typically more, technically slightly older kids, around, 10-year-olds, So still same kind of level as the Clone Wars, except the Clone Wars had a lot more mature themes for being a kids show, quote unquote. But it really wasn't a kids show in the same way as, you know, like Resistance or early Rebels. Later Rebels was more close to Clone Wars, but still not quite at the same. But yeah, but yeah. I finally watched Resistance. It's alright. Probably a 5.5. I mean, it's not overly interesting, but it's okay. It's at least the most unique thing from the sequel, trilogy, in that sort of timeline of, First Order, all that stuff. So it didn't exactly need to do a lot to beat the rest of the sequel trilogy. And, yeah. Also, Dave Filoni was involved with that, so it kind of shows that, like, 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 when Dave's restricted, he can't really do as much, but yeah, he was able to do good stuff with, season 7 of, uh, Clone Wars, and yeah, but, he's been outstretched recently, so I feel like his ideas are falling more flat recently. Um, you know, due to being outstretched, and yeah, but yeah, Resistance was alright. I and I can see that Republic Commando sound effects were being used in Resistance as well, which was a surprise. I thought, that began with, Bad Batch, but no, it began with actually Resistance, so that was interesting to learn. So yeah, um, I'm glad Republic Commando still getting that love. And obviously, the Republic Commandos are still canon thanks to Bad Batch and, Battlefront 2. So thank God they're still canon. Although they're technically not Republic Commandos, they're Imperial Commandos because, you know, it's the Empire. So, yeah. But they're not really wearing the Imperial Commando armor, so it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully more happens with them, in Bad Batch season 3, which will be the final season, which is sad. And like, how are they going to end it all, wrap it all up in 16 episodes? There's still a lot of loose threads. And not to mention, I still want to see Hondo. Where the hell is Hondo? He hasn't shown up in anything. He hasn't shown up in Ahsoka. He hasn't showed up in, you know, anything. I want Hondo Anaka. He should appear in Skeleton Crew because that's the one with pirates. So it better have Hondo and Skeleton Crew. Like, it better, I want to see Hondo. He hasn't appeared for years. He's been relegated to, goddamn, Disney's Edge, whatever, Star Wars Edge, whatever. Same difference, still owned by Disney, It's in Disneyland or Disney World, whatever, same difference, yeah, again, like, they're both the same thing. It doesn't matter, like, 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 I want to see Hondo, either in the flesh or in animated form, but otherwise Hondo Anaka. But yeah, anyway, that'll end this podcast. I'm looking forward to the future of Star Wars, but yeah, definitely things may need to improve for, quality wise. Otherwise, eventually it's going to get desaturated. Like, it seemed like everything was well and good, like with, the first 2 seasons of Mando and, the return of the Clone Wars, Bad Batch, but recently it's been taking a dip. Like, Mando season 3 wasn't as good, like, Ahsoka wasn't as good, like, I'm starting to worry that the desaturation and overstretching, everyone to work on a billion shows at once is only going to ruin Star Wars. And yeah, I'm fearful, but I'm still excited for some things, but I'm worried, But yeah, I think this will end off this episode. Hopefully things will get better. Hopefully they reel things back in and get back on track. But yeah, if they keep pushing, everyone to do a million shows at once, it's only going to end up destroying Star Wars. Like, it's only going to destroy Star Wars. So yeah. So no wonder Disney, is raising prices for, Disney Plus. Like, that they've been losing money in multiple places. Like from what I've heard, Marvel hasn't been going, exactly well with some of its stuff. You know, things are not going well for Disney, and things are probably going to keep going, downhill if they don't allow the time for quality, because sure, quantity is useful for your streaming service, but if it isn't actually good, if the quality isn't good, then you're going to lose more money. And yeah, you gotta balance quality and quantity. But yeah, anyway, that'll end the podcast before I take it too long. And yeah, thank you all for watching the Our Podcast. Peace.